Former St. Louis police officer is facing 7 years in prison. He now admits to killing a fellow officer and someone he claimed to be in love with. Nathaniel Hendren made his guilty plea this morning in the death of Kaitlyn Alix. The two were playing a Russian roulette-style game when she was shot. News 4's Lauren Traeger reports.
In these letters, 19 people poured out their pain onto the page, telling a judge just how terrible Officer Kaitlyn Alix's death was for them. Her husband writing that this has been a pure nightmare for him, saying he will never get to experience having kids with her or growing old with her. Officer Alix's mother, too, saying she will just never be the same.
My daughter, it's the best thing that ever happened to me, and she's gone, so I'm alone now. I feel alone without her.
Officer Kaitlyn Alix's mother says her daughter was beautiful and radiant. Alix was over at Nathaniel Hendren's home on Dover Place in the city in January 2019. She was off duty. Hendren and his partner were on duty and admitted to drinking alcohol and not being on patrol when they should have been. Prosecutors said Hendren and Alix were using their personal guns and in a Russian roulette-style game started firing a revolver with one round in it. Prosecutors said Hendren did not believe the cartridge would fire when he pointed it at Alix and pulled the trigger. Hendren's defense attorney, Talmadge Newton, says he's been remorseful ever since.
What didn't come through in court today, I think, was how much Nate cared for Kaitlyn. They were friends. They had ridden together. They were partners. He is deeply affected by this. He's very emotional.
After court, Hendren was handcuffed and immediately taken to jail in this van. Alix's family spoke in court of their pain, many saying at least a plea agreement kept them from reliving the tragedy in a trial.
It's a very, very sad day.
Hendren was charged with involuntary manslaughter and pleaded guilty to that today. The judge making it very clear he was not responsible for the actual sentence. Hendren could have faced a lot more time than 7 years in prison, but both sides agreed that was for the best. Reporting at the courthouse downtown, Lauren Traeger, News 4.
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And here we have yet another cover-up where police officer Nathaniel Hendren murdered his partner, his colleague, his fellow officer, 24-year-old Kaitlyn Alix, whom he was reportedly having an affair with. Now, this happened in 2019, and I'm going to give you some more details about that particular night, which they claim they were having a Russian roulette game. But if you see the arrest photos, you see this guy is beat up. This is the night of the incident. So this does not look like, as they're saying, and according to all of the information that I found out and some that they tried to hide, this goes much more deeper. Now, this happened in January of 2019, and he was sentenced to 7 years, but he has recently been paroled after only serving 4 years of that sentence and earlier this year. Now, I'm going to play you some video concerning that as well, but think about it. These two officers, Nathaniel Hendren and his partner, was supposed to be on patrol. They go to Hendren's house, which is out of the district that they're patrolling, and then they're saying Kaitlyn stopped by. Now, doing that, they said they admitted to drinking alcohol. Also, as a condition of the plea agreement, certain things were not outed in court, but according to the prosecution, there was also some D-rug use. And it was reported that the partner, Nathaniel Hendren's partner, warned them to stop playing with guns, but he was never brought up in the investigation. However, Hendren is going to attest that, he loved her. He and Kaitlyn were going to get married, and she was going to leave her husband. Just watch this video as it gets deeper. This video is fair use, as all of these videos are for literary and commentary purposes only. Just watch.
New this morning, There are some new details into the deadly Russian roulette-style police shooting involving former officer Nathaniel Hendren. He just changed his plea to guilty 2 weeks ago, and now we have his response to the civil lawsuit the Alix family filed against him. So just to recap, if you're not familiar with this case, Nathaniel Hendren pled guilty to killing Kaitlyn Alix while he was on duty. She was off duty. Court documents say it happened during a Russian roulette-style game. 5 on Your Side has obtained Hendren's attorney's response to the civil lawsuit. It claims that Alix voluntarily participated in the game, so Hendren owes her family nothing because she assumed the risk when she pointed the gun at him first. And for the first time, we're hearing that this may not have been the first time that Alix did something like this. Hendren claims that she played similar Russian roulette games with other people before. On top of that, Hendren says he and Alix were lovers. They even were going to move in together because she was planning a divorce. Now, the lawyer representing the family of Officer Alix believes this is a righteous lawsuit, and they feel confident that the facts will support their claim. All
right. So there it gets deeper. This guy claims that this woman was going to leave her husband for him, and they always played this game. In my opinion, I think that Kaitlyn was probably trying to break it off with this guy. And, he realized that, if I can't have you, no one will. And the audacity of whiteness, even when the victim is white, is going to try to blame the victim. As you heard them say, well, she assumed all the risk when she pointed the gun at me first. Now, mind you, that it may have been that they were playing that game, but he was the one who put the bullet in the chamber. So he could easily manipulate it to say, okay, my turn, your turn. My turn, your I'm sorry. And this is the activity, the cunningness, the manipulation of police officers. Now, mind you, these are the upstanding police that we are supposed to listen to without question. Drinking on the job, out of their district, using possible D-rugs, having affairs, and playing Russian roulette with guns. These are the guys that are supposed to not question and comply with pure stupidity. Yeah, right. Nevertheless, they have let this guy out after only serving 3 years, and this guy is out here living his best life. As a part of his probation, he is not even supposed to be around bars or other police officers. Now he's taking pictures online, showing videos where he is out partying, living his best life, while this lady's family is still suffering. Just watch this video, and I'll be back with a little more commentary.
This week marks 6 years since a St. Louis police officer was shot and killed by one of her fellow officers. Nathaniel Hendren killed this woman, Kaitlyn Alix, while she was off duty January 24th, 2019. And tonight, her mother is raising new questions about what Hendren has been doing since his release from prison 3 months ago. Chief investigative reporter Lauren Traeger has the story.
I want to talk to her. It's no longer possible.
For Amy, grief is forever.
I cry every day, still take a shower, write her name on the shower wall. I miss her.
Her daughter, Kaitlyn Alix, she says, was compassionate and kind.
She was a beautiful person inside and out.
Katie had dedicated her young life to public service, first in the military and then to the St. Louis Police Department. In January 2019, she was off duty and stopped by the home of fellow officer Nathaniel Hendren. He and his partner were supposed to be out on patrol, but were instead drinking on the job. Hendren, in a game with a gun, fired a shot and hit Katie in the chest. Hendren pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and in February 2020 was sentenced to 7 years in prison. He served 4 of those and was released on parole in October last year.
He's going to remember that day, so I'm sure it's hard on him.
Amy had pushed for more time, saying he will move on with his life when Katie cannot.
I just hope he has learned something. I hope he goes to counseling. I hope he gets the help that he needs.
but she says she was hurt to see recent pictures circulating online. Hendren at the train wreck saloon in Maryland Heights, at least one other St. Louis police officer with him.
I don't think he should be out having a great time with other officers, really. I don't.
Others, too, weighed in online. One person writing, quote, "I experienced a flood of emotions when I observed a photo of this man smiling, laughing it up. I see nothing to celebrate. I see no reason to rejoice."
I just wish they would think before they do something like that, because it does hurt a lot of people.
Hendren must abide by certain parole conditions. This document, obtained by First Alert 4 Investigates, says Hendren shall not consume alcoholic beverages nor enter any establishment where alcoholic beverages are the major items offered for sale. The pictures don't show him drinking. His attorney declined official comment, but we've been told there is currently no reason to believe he has violated the specific conditions of parole.
If they do not do well in the community, they can be sent back.
Doug Burris is the former head of federal probation and parole in our region. He says, in general, parole conditions are for the public and to help the person successfully re-enter society.
When it comes to alcohol, is that a typical or pretty usual condition?
It's not uncommon, but it's not prevalent. It happens in less than half of the cases.
An investigation, he says, would generally have occurred, especially when it comes to the definition of an establishment where alcohol beverages are the major items for sale.
I know of businesses that have lunch throughout the day where they do not serve much alcohol, and then they have bands in the evening and make a lot of money off of alcohol.
What would be the next step?
The Parole Commission takes violations extremely serious, and there's information online how to contact them. And if you were to do that, I'm sure they would get with the parole officer to act on it immediately.
To live with that every day, knowing she's not here, it's painful. It hurts. Hurts deep. I mean, my life is still not normal.
Amy says she just wants to protect others. Still so upset, she says, that St. Louis police have never met with her.
I've begged for 6 years to get a phone call, to sit down and talk to them for 6 years. They have not talked to me, not one time.
6 years later, Amy says Katie should never be forgotten.
What my family has been through is living hell, losing Katie. I wouldn't want another family to have to go through what we've been through.
We have asked for an interview with Nathaniel Hendren as he re-enters society, but so far he has declined. Now, in general, Doug Burris says he has never seen an instance of a parolee being sent back to prison for just one instance of violating conditions related to alcohol, what they call a technical violation. There is also a special order, a departmental rule that says St. Louis City Police cannot knowingly associate with convicted criminals in circumstances which could bring discredit upon the department. That's whether they are on or off duty. We asked police for more information about that, but a spokesperson for the police said they were unable to comment. For First Alert 4 Investigates, I'm Lauren Traeger.
And this, my friends, is how police look out for their own. This woman's mother has not received any communication from the St. Louis Police Department. There's video of him associating with police officers in bars, and they're going to try to tiptoe around it. This is the reality. Even when the victim is white police officers are going to get off. And he got off like a fat rat, as they say, walking out of prison 4 years later, on parole, but still hanging out with police officers. This is, what we have seen. Now, if they are able to kill their own and get away with it as such, what fighting chance in hell do we have of getting justice in these situations? I mean, this guy was admittedly drinking on the job, not on patrol at 1 a.m. in the morning, at his house, possibly using D-rugs, having an affair with a married woman, and possibly, in my opinion, setting that whole game up. And now, once again, we can't, discount the fact that, according to him, this lady was, having an affair. A married woman, 24 years old. They said her husband walked out of the courtroom without comment. And the reason they said that they agreed upon the plea agreement is to spare the family those details. They said both sides wanted to remember Kaitlyn as she was, not as who she really was, which means she was, out fricking around. Remember, she was off duty. So she should have been home with the husband. Maybe she told her husband she was working and, she was at his house waiting on him, to slide through, on his patrol time. But this is an incident that highlights, once again, the corruption that goes on in the police departments nationwide. This happened in St. Louis, albeit 2019. He has just been paroled early or late last year. It's about a year ago he's been paroled, and now the family is watching him parade himself around, probably hanging out with the same crew that he normally gets drunk and use D-rugs with, who are also car-carrying members of law enforcement. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for liking, watching, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. Doesn't cost you anything, but allows this channel to be more prevalent in the internet spaces. But as always, I thank you guys for watching. Peace and blessings. The scripture says all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. Let's go. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Who keep the people informed with stories abroad from literary work where the narrative's wrong. The research is always on point, the commentary is hard. It's Rich Teller raising the bar. Follow along, shout out to FBA, still FTP. Pick up NFAC and all my black families. There's three sides to all stories. Which one you gon' believe? We run down on the false prophets when it comes to deceive. 100% urban world news, current events. We don't like them lies. Media is biased. We got God besides. Ladies and just as power. If you don't know by now, look around. We the darkest hours. Cops squeezing hammers cause they don't understand. We stop and freeze with our hands to kill us off like cancer. Don't speculate before the facts on the case. Telehouse set them straight. My brother Rich investigates. You watch your Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news don't mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now for too long.